Hello and welcome to another lovely Wednesday. I'm your host, and we will be playing Trap Chess today. Trap Chess is a game where there are traps hidden in the board. When you move a piece to your opponent's side of the board, their half, you run the risk of losing your piece. Kings can't get lost that way because it would break the rules of chess, but any other piece could be lost. So we're doing a run right now where every time I lose a game, I get to add one more landmine or trap to my side. Right now I'm currently at 4. I've lost 3 games over the course of the last 4 months since we started streaming. Today is different though because I've added Twitch as a multi-stream option, so I have a couple new things going on in my stream over here. So if you see me acting a little differently or looking at things like I'm a little slower than usual, that's because I'm making sure this works properly. I did some testing before, but you never know what will happen until you actually run it live. So with that, I will start our game. I'll generate a code. I'll put it in the chat. And let's see if we can get started here. So the code is P4LL93. I'll put it in Twitch. And in YouTube for some reason. Sorry. It's kicking me out. So let's see. I gotta do that separately. Okay. See, this is why it's different. I gotta learn new things today. So I'll join the game, and I get 4. Oh, it looks like our opponent's already in there. So I'll go ahead and join, and I'll make the first move. We'll do the most common opening move in chess: E2 to E4. And my opponent has 16 traps, 16 landmines. So here we go. Boop. We'll protect our pawn. We'll go defensive. Today I don't have an orange mug, but I have a medieval times mug. It's pretty worn out, as you can see. I've had it for a while, but I really like it, so I'm keeping it. And you can't stop me from keeping it. I'll move it over here. Okay, let's see. So they're protecting their pawn. Okay. And we'll do that. Why not? We'll do that. I like to just make moves, see what happens. Excuse me. All right. You hear my cat in the other room. He's upset that I'm playing trap chess without him. Don't worry, buddy. You'll get to play after with your little paws. Okay. We'll go here, get that full diagonal. I do know my opponent has their pawn on E5, which is fine. Eventually, I'll try to break that. Okay. I'm going to move back here. Let's bring my knight to the other side. Okay. We'll keep up with that. If they push their knight, I'll just push a pawn. Push them away. So let's see. Cool. It's so cool to have like 2 setups at once, but it's a little distracting now. This is a brand new thing I'm trying, so we'll see what happens. Oh, they're doing that with their bishop too? They're copycatting me. Okay. We'll bring out the other knight. Okay. We'll block the bishop from targeting the knight and doing a pin where I can't move it because my queen would be in danger. Interesting. Okay, they're moving their queen out. Okay, let's see. I don't really like that positioning. I'm going to go ahead and target their knight. And thankfully there wasn't a bishop landmine there, otherwise I would have just lost my bishop. So that knight either has to retreat or we're just going to take it. I don't want to deal with it. It was in the way. Yeah, my pawn in the middle though is protected if they take it with their bishop. Excuse me. Okay, let's see. Take. Okay, let's push. We got some good defense here, so we'll start pushing. I like the idea of pushing here. I think it's the right move. Cool. Okay. They take. I take. Still controlling the center, which is good. They take. I take. Take. Oh, I don't think they realized that their bishop was under attack. So I'll take it. It's a free bishop. It's not protected, and it threatens the rook right after. So I'll just go for it. Yeah. I think I could do my queen to d4. That's a possibility. I could retreat. You know, retreating probably is the best move. But where to retreat to? Alright, we'll just go right to the center. Retreating to the center sounds good. Yeah, and they might take with their pawn, which is okay. No problems if they do that. Oh, they took with the bishop. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's so weird. YouTube is showing that I'm not live. Am I live on YouTube? Let's refresh it. Connect your encoder to go live. Okay. Yeah, I am live. It's just, it's acting funky. Okay, it's the first time I'm doing this, so there could be a problem. Okay. I think I'm just going to take the bishop back. Yeah, let's just get rid of the bishop. I'm avoiding going on their side as much as I can because that reduces the risk of me having to deal with their landmines. But I do have a fork here, so I'm going to go for it. And thankfully, there wasn't a knight landmine. There could have been a knight landmine on g5, and then I would have just lost my knight. So this is a fork on the pawn on h7 and the pawn on h4, or e4, rather. They're moving very quickly. Let's see. Okay, we're just going to take that pawn. My bishop is protected by my queen, so I don't really have to worry about that. Okay, and they castle. Ah, bad time to castle. Their queen is now pinned. Alright, pin my knight, but that's okay. We'll take the queen and it's a check, and I have to address that first. And then this is tempo, so then I can protect my knight while also putting another check in there. Cool. That leaves my bishop unprotected though. But that's okay. Let me think, because I could do... Yeah, okay. We'll just retreat the bishop. That's the best move. Have it be protected by the pawn. I was considering the fork on f6 with my knight, but you know my knight was pinned, so it couldn't be moved. So that'll be ready for next turn. I didn't want to just give up a free bishop though. I do have my queen, which is a big advantage. I'm surprised they're trading this much. Normally you don't trade when you're down. Okay. Alright, we'll take the fork. Good. No landmine. Okay. Capture the pawn. Or the rook, rather. That's another check. They have to address that. And we'll castle. It might have been better to just move the king to, like, f3 to protect the pawn, but that's okay. Okay. We'll go f3 anyway. I should have done that last turn. It would have been better than castling to protect that pawn. Yeah, that way my king is targeting, so let's see. I'm checking Twitch. Okay. It's crazy to have two things like going on at the same time. going to go there. That'll open up the possibility for a pin on the rook. Oh, okay. Go back. Oh, they're just trading left and right. They're hoping I hit a queen landmine and even it out. But I'm just going to use my king as a weapon. Let's go, king. Let's do your stuff. Check him and fork the pawn on b4. It's cool when I like do it. You can feel the vibration, like it goes. Okay. Push him away. Okay. I don't know where my landmines are. I haven't checked, but we're just gonna, we'll take that. Oh man, I don't want to take their pawn on d5. There's a chance it could be a landmine. So what we're going to do is we're gonna run our king around. Yeah, as soon as they take my pawn, I'll take their pawn. So let's just block. Oh, pawn landmine. Nice. Okay. Okay, we'll take that pawn. Now their king is pretty much cornered. Yep. That's pretty much game over. Go king closer, and we'll end it. Good game. Good game. There's no way to avoid checkmate, so. Good game. Let's see. Okay, so the queen landmines were on a6 and c6. So if I'd moved my queen to a6 or c6, it would have exploded and I would have lost it. I was too afraid to move to their side, so when they used their king and brought it back to my side, I was like, oh, this is a lot safer for me to go for the win. I didn't really have to worry as much. Okay, let's start another game. All right. I'm going to generate a play code, and I'm going to put it in the chat. Okay, Y9987P. Oops. Enter it in over here and over here. Cool. And I'll hit join game. All right. And I only take 4 landmines. How is everyone doing today? Oh, my opponent's already in there. Cool. For some reason, I can't chat within my streaming software within Twitch. So I have to put it in a browser logged into my profile. So yesterday, I had I'm in a sports league. And yesterday we had the playoffs and the finals, and my team ended up winning. It was a lot of fun. It was for volleyball. I was able to, you know, we set up for the win. Ha! It's because there's a setter in volleyball. I don't know if you guys know volleyball, but yeah, it's like a whole thing. There's like different positions. I kind of consider myself the libero because I'm the guy always diving, and I ruined another pair of pants yesterday. I like dove and slid on my knees, and then when I looked up, there was a hole in my knee. In the pants, not in my actual knee. That'd be crazy if like there was just a hole in my knee. Okay, let's do... I like bringing my knights together, you know, it's fun. It's fun to have 2 knights next to each other because they can hit a lot of squares together. And they're so friendly with one another. So we'll do that again. We did that last game. We'll do that again. So my opponent might not like that, so I'll do that. I'll do that. That'll protect against that bishop coming down. Oh, interesting. They're a little more aggressive on that side. I don't think I can ignore that pawn. I'm going to take it. Yeah, I can't ignore it. I got my cool pen today, guys. Check that out. I know, so cool. I'm getting better at doing like tricks with it. I mostly just play with it on stream to confuse my opponents. You know, they look and they're like, whoa, what was that? And then, you know, that's it. They're confused. All right, we're gonna block them from coming over a little bit closer. They don't want me to bring my knights together. That's why they're pushing a little bit harder on that side. I think it's the same opponent as last time. So if it is the same opponent, take your time. You know, think through your moves a little bit more. We have time. We have time here. We're just playing. We're hanging out. We're playing some trap chess. Okay. I'm gonna go... You know what? I'm gonna put the knight there. I want to open up the bishop and the queen. They're a little like stuck, and I don't think that's good for them. They need to be able to breathe a little bit, you know? Alright, we're gonna pin that knight. Good. No bishop landmine. That would be terrible if I just lost a bishop trying to do a pin. My opponent might try to push the bishop away pretty quickly, but I mean, it's not a big problem for them right now. There's no reason to do that. Okay. I want to try to block that knight's path a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and move that pawn up. Just limit the squares. That'll force it to the g4 square if it wants to come out. Now they're trying to block. So we'll take the knight and we'll check. That was part of the plan. Just get that knight out of the way. Yeah. Excuse me. I've had a little bit of a sore throat today. Alright, bring out the knight. Their pieces are more developed than mine, which is an advantage they have. But that doesn't mean I'm behind. Okay. We'll target that pawn. They'll protect that pawn, okay. Let me do some thinking here. I haven't really been thinking. Let me see. I'm just kind of moving without thinking, and that's not a good way to play chess. You should really think your moves through in chess. So, okay, we'll do this. We'll start trying to break through a little bit. They opted not to take it. Interesting. Alright, then we'll do this. It blocks my bishop in, which isn't the best, but I just really... Eventually they're going to push that d5, d4 pawn, and I want to be able to stop it. You know, so... We'll just protect. I'm just casually protecting my pieces. I'm hardly being aggressive here. Nice. That's exactly what I wanted. So, cool. Okay, that was a pawn landmine. Nice. Okay. Now, let's see. Alright, I see some things I can do now. Let's start getting a little more aggressive. Urgh! So, that's my aggressive face. I hope it didn't scare anyone. And if it did, enjoy the Zen cat. So zen. See. Now if you were scared by my aggressive face, all those fears are melting away. Melting. Okay. Let's see what the plan is with that knight. I mean, I can take the pawn and f2, which is a fork, but my king can just break it. I can just take. Alright, I'm gonna go there. We'll target their bishop. The bishop isn't protected, so I feel like that's a good place to go. And then confused with the pen. Gotta be careful. If I spin this too fast, I could float out of my chair. Okay, they protected their bishop. They also protected the pawn on c6. Leads me to believe they don't have a landmine for knights on c6 then, or on e6. Okay. I'm going to... Excuse me. I'm thinking pawn to f3. That could be good. Okay. Yeah, pawn to f3. Let's try breaking through a little bit. Oh, they could push, though. Yeah, that's okay if they push. Because I have a pawn landmine. All right. Now I get the knight. I don't know why. I would have prioritized the knight. That's okay. My king is like wide open. My king is just chilling. Wide open. No problems. They can't really castle on the king side right now. If they try to castle on the king side, their king will be wide open. Queen side might be good, but then I do have... They castled on the king side. What are you doing? It's okay. I'm going to go ahead and switch some of my attacks to that side. All right, let's start pushing on that side. I think we can get some good defense there and be offensive. Now I have like an array of pawns just protecting each other, and I can bring my queen in to h5 if I want, which is like right in the king's face. Excuse me. I can protect that. There's a lot of ways to protect that. Yeah, we'll protect it. I don't see a way for them to really break through. Interesting. All right. I think what I want to do... Yeah, we'll do that. As soon as that bishop moves out of the way, I'm in check. But I have some options here. Now I have a place. I can just run my king to d2 and put it in the corner. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to run it. Get it out of the way. Not have anything to worry about. So yeah, and then I have it pretty open on the both sides are like really open. This is such an unusual game. It's interesting. I'm worried about putting my queen on h5. I was looking at it, but it's a little worrying because I don't know. They left it open. It makes me think there's a landmine on h5. Because I was looking at it and I was like, oh, it looks like a good square, but it doesn't. Is it? If it's left open like that, is it really a good square? Oh, they're trying to break through. Okay. Knight or pawn? Knight or pawn? Pawn. No. Knight. No. Pawn. Knight. We'll do knight. I like knight. Knights are just... I like them. We're just going to use our knight as much as possible. So they could like bring their rook into play, but I don't know. It's just going to have my king get into a good defensive area. Interesting. You know what? Thinking they might be trying to target my queen. Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. There's so many things they could be thinking here, so let me take a look. Alright, they have bishop to g4, targeting my queen. I mean, they could try for that. They don't have anything on the, their dark square bishop is gone. So I could just move onto the dark square and be fine. They are restricting my view, my movements right now. My bishop is pretty much useless. I'm not really using it in a good way. Yeah, okay. I'm going to start getting my pieces like in better spots. They're just not in good spots right now. Yeah, there it is. It's okay. I'm gonna go here. I think I want to go to B1. B1 is a square I was like actively looking at. Yeah, I was looking at B1 because when that rook gets out of the way, I can go straight to the H7 square. And the H7 square is strong. That's basically checkmate if it's not protected. So I'm just going to switch my forces around. Make things work a little bit for me. So yeah, I'm not really, I don't know. Not really playing the best this game. That's okay. Twitch has a lot of spam, doesn't it? The first thing that came up was someone trying to do like something, like some sort of spam message. Oh no. So yeah, okay. We'll get rid of that pesky, yeah, that pesky bishop. They're trying to do a lot with it, so and then we'll go here. We'll protect that line. They actually had a way to get my queen, but they didn't see it, so good for me. Because I made like multiple mistakes here. So we'll protect that line now. And then I think I'm going to move my queen back to D1. I like the D1 square. I like it more. I did have a possible fork earlier, but the bishop was in the way, and then I was considering like doing something to get rid of that bishop. So I think they're starting to see how like annoying those pawns can be. So we're gonna take it. There's probably do I really want to take it? I don't know. I can push or take. Let's look at the possibilities. Push, take. No. Push this one. That one instead. That's a better move. Okay. Cool. And then we'll do that. Get our queen into a little bit more of an active spot. They can take. That's okay. I'll push again after they take. Take back. I have a plan. Now I have a plan. My brain's starting to work a little bit better. Bring my rook into play. Here we go. The plan is coming in to planning. I'm up a bishop, so. Okay, I think I'll go. Go there. If I move on the light color square, they'll check me with the queen. I don't want that. But now they put themselves into a problematic place. There's a lot going on that's not going to work for them. So take your time on your next move. There's some problems you have to deal with now. You've created these problems yourself. Ooh, confusing you with the pen. Yeah, that's right. So we'll take that rook. Goodbye, rook. So long. I'm playing a little scared because of all the traps, you know. I've been playing scared since we started. But that happens, you know. You're just afraid you're going to hit a landmine, and so you don't want to like make any waves. All right, let's see if there's a landmine here. There is not. Cool. Now you can't take it. My rook is protecting it. Neener, neener, neener. Here comes the plan. The plan is coming. My bishop has been completely useless this game on the b2 square. I like boxed it in, which was a terrible idea. I mean, I have it, but is it doing anything? No. Is it helpful? No. Should it be somewhere else? Yes. Do I wish it was somewhere else? Yes. I can start working on that. I think they don't like my pawns being on that G file because I could straight up push it all the way through. All right, here comes the bishop. Enjoy. Enjoy the bishop. The bishop is free. It finally got out. I'm up a whole bishop here. Oh boy. Oh boy. No good. No good. Yeah. All right. Interesting. I thought it was a trap. I thought there was a queen landmine there. I'm not falling for it. I think there was a queen landmine there, and I'm not falling for it. So we're taking it with the rook. Let's see. No, there wasn't. The queen landmine was on h6 and d6. Okay. So, okay, good game. That was a lot of fun. I will go ahead and throw another code in the chat. Let's do it. Okay. LXLVCC. I hear my cat. He's so upset that he's not playing trap chess. He really wants to play trap chess. Confirm 4. Okay. Let's do something different this time. And I'm not gonna play as scared. I'm gonna be a little more aggressive. It's hard to be aggressive when your opponent has 16 landmines hidden on their side of the board and you don't know where they are because one wrong move and that's it. You know, you're down like I've had a couple games where like right off the bat I was down a queen, or I was down one game I was down a queen to bishop after going for checkmate, and it was just because of a landmine. So you have to be careful, but it's like difficult because you got to also be aggressive or you won't win, you know. So but good game. Thanks for playing. Let's have fun. Let's do another one. All right. Oh, it looks like there is, cool. Let me see. You know, the last time I played someone and they opened up with F7 to F5, they were baiting me to put my queen on H5, and it was a queen landmine, and that was it. I'm not falling for it. This is not gonna happen again. We're gonna just go for the diagonal and just keep doing what we're doing and not be baited by our tricky opponents. So, all right, we'll restrict the knight's movements. Why not? I'll probably go. Yeah, let's do this. D2 to D4. Cool. Okay, let's see. I'm thinking they're just doing a lot of pushes with their pawns on that side. They're really just trying to say, come hit the landmine. I don't want to hit the landmine. You can't make me hit the landmine. You could trick me though. I've been tricked a lot. All right, we'll move out the knight. I'm just gonna keep developing my pieces and see where this game goes and not fall into the trickery of my opponent. You know, very, very tricky. Okay. They want to trade? Nah, I don't really want to trade. I'm just gonna block your bishop. I'm just gonna block it. That'll open up the X-ray attack for my bishop on the G2 square, so now I have that long diagonal, which is good. And I have more control over the center, so I have an advantage this game so far. I'm always wary. Excuse me. I'm always wary of my pawn pushes, though, because pawns are the most common landmines you can find on the other side. 25% of my opponent's squares have pawn landmines. So it's very easy to lose like a pawn when you're pushing. And it's also very difficult to promote a pawn because you have to go through all those squares so you don't know where the landmines are. All right, so we'll go. All right, that bishop was blocked, so we'll bring the knight out. Interesting. They brought their queen out pretty early. They might want to do a pin there, so we'll block the pin so that my knight can have more free range of movement. Oh. Okay. This one's better. There wasn't a landmine. Interesting. I really thought there was going to be a landmine there. Interesting. Now, if you're new to the channel, this is Trap Chess. Trap Chess is a version of chess that I created. I have patents on it, actually, on the game mechanics. And it involves putting hidden traps on the board. And those traps are a new mechanic to remove chess pieces, the same way a capture would if you captured a piece. I gotta take the knight. I gotta take the knight. There's no reason not to take the knight. Okay. Alright, now we gotta take the pawn. Gotta take the pawn. It threatens the queen. It gives us an advantage. We also have a potential fork on the C7 square next. So that move was it's just good. Like, there's no reason not to do that move. I mean, there could have been a landmine and that would have been rough, but there was not. So we're okay. Now, the next thing is we're just going to get the knight into a different position and we'll threaten the queen one more time. I did also have knight to like E5, which would have protected my knight and threatened the queen again, but you know, I always have that later. I'm not gonna, no reason to be aggressive. We're up a piece. Excuse me. All right, we'll go. Knight landmine. Oh, and they move so quickly, I couldn't even, I won't be able to get a short out of that. That's okay. Knight landmine. That was rough. Okay, we'll go We'll give a little bit more protection to our knight and the pawn. Okay, that'll open up our rook, which is pretty good. I want to have the rook open. Don't understand what all these moves are. We're gonna go with a check first, because if I take that pawn, it's a pawn landmine. I'll lose my rook for free, and I don't want to lose my rook for free. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Now if they take the pawn, they're just gonna lose their rook, so they can't take the pawn. All right, we're gonna take the bishop. It just makes sense. The only way they can take back is with their rook, and it puts their rook in like not the best spot. So we're just gonna do that. It makes sense. All right. I think I want to castle. Yeah, we'll castle on this side, queen side, because we have a lot more pawns on that side for protection. So that just makes a little more sense. We'll bring our other rook out. Okay, now we'll take the pawn. I don't want to give up my queen yet. I think we'll retreat the queen. Yeah, we'll retreat it. Excuse me. Interesting. Nah, we'll go. We'll push it again. I don't see what you're doing here, but we're not going to get bullied by your pawns. We're going to push and push and push. All right. We'll protect. My rooks are in great spots. Like, attack all you want in the middle. Like, good luck against those rooks, you know? All right. We'll take. No problem. It's on our half of the board, so we don't have to worry about the landmines. You know, it's totally fine. So, there it is. Pawn landmine. Man, that was a little frustrating, but it happens. I've lost 2 pieces now to landmines. Let's see. I want to just push my pawns, but it's not that advantageous to me yet. Let me think. I haven't done much thinking. I think the best thing to do is just to... Let's see. Yeah, we gotta take the rook. They're forcing my hand. Let's see. Okay. Go there. We'll just keep pushing a little bit. My opponent loves to capture. They're just like capture, 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 capture. Oh, and then because I said that, they decided not to capture. Okay. No landmine. I was so sure there was going to be a landmine. Okay. Yeah, the landmines have really set me back in this game. I had a pretty good advantage, but it just kind of evaporates. It's like the moment you hit a landmine, you know? Now I have a lot of attacks and a lot of possibilities. We're in the end game, basically, at this point, so... let's figure out what we're doing. Why that square? Why that square? The things you do don't make any sense. You want to come in there and just attack again? I mean, that's been your MO so far. It's attack, 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 attack. And I could retreat my queen, protect. That would be okay. Because the F2 square is a fork. Alright, let's just get this queen out of the way. This queen is frustrating me. I limited its movements a lot, but it's still a little frustrating, so we'll just get rid of it. Yeah, and I think we're going to bring my king over to the right side. My pawns need to see that their king is present. They're like, my liege! And the liege is not present, so... we need to fix that, you know? The king needs to be present for his loyal subjects. Interesting. We'll take... okay. Pawn can't go any further, so we'll actually switch sides and come in there. Now I have a direct route to the king because they didn't want to swap queens. They ignored the good old queen swap. So it's got it, you know, this pen has got to be distracting my opponent. So I do this thing where I can flip it in my fingers and then I switch with my pinky here and it changes directions. That's right. Got some issues there. All right, let's do a push. And we'll hope it's not a landmine. Yes! No landmine! Enjoy that move. Boom! It's a pretty good move, I think. No, okay. Good way to get out of it. But now... okay, let's weigh our options here. If I move the pawn up to e7, it's a check, and they have to deal with the check. But if there's a land, and then they can, if they don't do anything, their king has to move. It can move to e8, or it can move to e7 or d7. You go to d7, bishop to h3 is a skewer, and I get the rook, right? For the cost of the bishop. Or they could take with their queen, and then I trade a rook for a queen, still really good for me. And then I have a bishop and a queen to their bishop and rook. However, if it's a landmine, I lose my bishop. I want to lose my bishop. Okay, so then we have e1 to D1 as a possibility. If I do that, yeah, I like E1 to D1. It's safer. Let's do the safe move. I pushed all this time. I pushed that pawn, and they might know that there's something there, so they're not even concerned. Okay. So we'll go ahead and take the bishop. That pawn is literally giving them protection, so. Good game. Checkmate. I saw it, but I just kind of like didn't do it, but I saw it. And then I was like, oh, I completely missed that checkmate. But then I just went for it, so. Okay, good game. So I did have a queen landmine on f4, which is where I positioned my queen. And they had a queen landmine on c4, or c5. Which is why they didn't bother trading queens. They were like, oh, you take me, it blows up, I get a free move out of it. So that's the thing about trap chess. If a landmine removes a piece for you, you don't have to use your turn capturing back to remove the piece. The landmine did it for you. So they were, once they had their queen on c5, they were like, go ahead, trade queen, so I don't have to take you back. And that's why they didn't do it. But then when I switched my queen over to the other side to f4 to take their pawn, they were suddenly like, okay, this is frustrating. So okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start a new game. That was a good game. I'm gonna generate another play code. I'll throw it into chat. QH5LR6. I put it into Twitch first, and then I put it into YouTube. Okay, and I'll join, and I'm still at 4 landmines. So, cool. And for a first move, what are we going to do? And we'll do this. Why not? Let's just do that. Let's try something different. You know, something out of the box. I like trying out of the box because, like, so in trap chess, the moment you hit a landmine and it blows up, you have a brand new board position anyway by that turn. So trying, like, different moves is kind of cool because now you get like wackier board positions. Like one of our early games was pretty different. They're just copying me at this point. Okay, you can copy me. It's okay. I'm okay with you being a copycat. Let's figure out why I'm doing stuff then. Go ahead, figure it out. I'll confuse you with the pen. Okay, I see you're going more there. You're not being a copycat anymore. Alright, well, I'll take. There's no landmine there, so. Okay. Let's do that. Let's block the piece going forward. I have a feeling there's something on the d5 square. But, you know, they're just like letting it sit there. They want me to move one of my pieces there. So, we'll do it. Okay, no bishop landmine. Good. We're safe. I wasn't sure. I really wasn't sure. I thought there was a possibility I would lose my my bishop there. So they want to trade bishops? They're giving me the option to trade bishops? Instead of trading... Like, instead of me taking the knight? Excuse me. Let me see. I'll weigh my options here. Take the bishop. They can only take back with the pawn. Then they have a pawn back in the middle of the board. And it was gone before. I could take the knight. They have to take with the pawn. And now they're doubled up. It's a check. They can't ignore it. Okay. We'll do the knight. I'd rather get the knight out of the way. I like knights more. So if I can collect knights, just add that knight to my collection. I have this knight collection. You can't look at it during the day though. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a knight collection. I'm gonna go ahead and let's bring out some more. All right, here comes the Hershey's. I'm bringing some more. Some graham crackers. Yeah, go ahead, pin it. What do I care? Go ahead, pin it. Pin it all day. Alright, I'll push you out. You won't take it. Yeah, you probably will. This is definitely the same player as before, so they're taking everything. So, but I don't mind. I got some tricks up my sleeve. Whoa! What was that? What are you trying to do there? You okay with this? I thought they were they just left that open, and I was like, there's got to be a queen landmine there, but there was not. I thought they'd protect that more, so, but they didn't. All right, we're going for that rook. No rook landmine. Let's see. What next? What next? That queen is like right in my face. Okay. We'll just we'll push some pawns. Why not? We'll go we'll go here. It's protected by my queen. At this point, if they're trying to trade pieces with me, they shouldn't be like trading pieces. They're down a rook, and a rook is a big piece to be down. So, all right. I mean, what's that for? They can't really threaten my king. All right, let's get their queen. Let's go for the queen. Go there. My king can't be forked, so I don't have to worry about losing my king. My queen is, yeah, okay. We'll go here. Man. Knight landmine, okay. That move was, I was so happy with that move. Now it's a little bit closer. I do have a lot of pawns though, so if I'm just trading pieces, I feel pretty good about it. All right, let's threaten that knight a little bit. Just a little bit of threatening. Just nothing too crazy. Just a little bit of threats. Yeah. So. You know, I was thinking of moving the pawn, but if there's a pawn landmine, that's pretty much it. So, let's see. Because I do, like, I was looking at it and I'm like, oh, like in my mind, I was thinking like, checkmate. Like, that's it, right? But if there's a pawn landmine there, that's not checkmate. I lose. Like, I'm going to lose my queen. But, like, I was looking at it from the angle of chess, and that's not the way to look at trap chess. So let's see. What did I lose so far? I lost a knight on b7. Okay, so that doesn't tell me anything about the g5 square. If I move to g5 and there's no pawn landmine, that's checkmate. That's what I was looking at. But I wasn't considering there being a pawn landmine there. So the other option is to move to be safe, because I'm up, is e5. Force the queen trade. But then, alright, we're just going to go for checkmate. Okay. Good game, good game. There was a pawn landmine there, I lose. Like, that's how trap chess works. Like, you know, then suddenly I'm down a queen. But I felt like the checkmate attempt was worth it. So, good game. Let's see. Your queen landmines were on g6 and a7. So, at one point I did consider taking the a7 pawn with my queen, but I didn't think the risk was worth it for a pawn. So it's good I didn't. Yeah, I actually had a queen landmine on my side this time on b4. If your queen had moved there, it would have gone pow. Oh, I had two queen landmines. I had d2 and b4 as queen landmines. Ooh, that's risky. Yeah, so I set up that fork there, knowing I could do a checkmate, but then I wasn't. Like, if you had a pawn landmine on G5, that would have been it. I'd have been down a queen, I'd have been down a pawn, I'd been down a knight from the other landmine, I would have been in trouble. So, that was a good game. I'm going to go ahead and set up another one. Let's keep this going. Keep this party going. Yeah, take your time on your moves, though. Like, if you're rushing your moves, it's very easy to make mistakes. So, I'm going to go ahead and drop down to 4. Confirm. Cool. And I don't know. What are we going to do? Let's do the pawn in front of the queen. Why not? I think that's a friendly pawn. Wants to go out and play. Yeah, we'll just have that pawn go out and play. Maybe it'll make some friends. Put our knight here. Protect that pawn. My opponent's pretty aggressive if it's the same opponent, so I'm surprised they haven't automatically tried to go for that knight. Alright, we'll attack their pawn, but they do have protection from their queen. Okay. I don't want them to push, so I will take. Okay, no pawn landmine, so that's okay. So I think they're going to take back, which is normal. I expect them to take back. They didn't take back. Okay. We'll just keep going with taking pawns. I can do this all day. Alright, then we're going to take that pawn. And protect. And protect. Let's just keep protecting. I want my knight to stay there. It's in a really good spot. I don't see a reason to not let it be there. Okay. And protect. Keep everything protected. Oh, man. Why would you do that? You don't want the knight to be there? That knight is cool. Leave the knight alone. You big bully. Don't. It says clearly in the rules of the channel on Twitch, no bullying. And I'm feeling a little bullied right now. Attacking my knight. Yeah, so I guess I'll give you guys an update too on the project. I'm currently working with the manufacturer on getting a prototype. It took a while because we had to like work through this one problem with the chess piece traps, where you would slide it behind a chess piece and it would get torn. And there's no reason it should get torn, you know? You shouldn't have to buy new chess piece traps over and over. They should just work. Things should be fine. Oh, I'm in check. I don't know why. We can get out of that pretty easily. So we'll do that. We'll attack the queen. I feel like that check was not necessary unless they were doing some sort of tempo to move their queen closer for another square. So we'll just do that. Push the queen away. Maybe it won't push the queen away. Maybe they'll try to protect it a little bit. Maybe they'll throw their bishop up on b4 and not know about my landmine hidden on b4. Okay, no, they ran away. Good. Get out of my neighborhood. Should we call, like, your half of the chessboard your neighborhood? What's the technical term for, like, your half of the chessboard? I don't know if there is a term. If there isn't a term, should come up with one, right? Okay, let's see. I have an idea. We're going to give both of these pawns the best of protection. And then we're going to castle because there's no way they're getting to my king on this side. My king is so safe. What is that? What are you doing there? I mean, my bishop's not protected. I guess I could take. I guess so. I mean, all right. Let's weigh the options. I could take. Their queen's going to move to that square, obviously, and take back. Threatens my rook. My rook is completely safe. Then they can put their bishop onto d6 and try to aim for the h2 pawn, but it's protected by my knight on f3, so that won't work. And they don't have a way to get that knight out. There's like no strategy they have or attacks. They're down 2 pawns, so that works for me. That's in my benefit. Try to push with their knight next. I can always move my pawn up 1, and that's that. Okay. No. I don't want to. Yeah, I think this is... Oops. This is better. Let them take. Then I'll take back with my queen. Or we'll have a landmine. Boom! Knight landmine. Cool. It's nice to have 4 landmines now because they sometimes activate, and that wasn't happening before. You know, like I didn't have any. I had one game where I had one and then it activated, and I was like, oh. And then I found a bug, and I was like, oh. And then I had to fix the bug. So the new version fixes that. The bug was that it said landmines 1 in my like timer bar, and then it didn't say landmines 0 after it activated. So that was the bug, but fixed it. All right, let's restrict their movements. So I could do pawn up to e5, or I could do bishop to e5. I like pawn to e5 to attack that knight and force the knight to go somewhere. Let's look at the possibilities for the knight. It doesn't really do much. Let's... Should have done the pawn. Man. All right. Should have done the pawn. Let's pin that bishop. Bishop can't take the rook because I'll take the queen. Okay. That was an easy rook. Just went for the rook there. They tried to protect it because they realized the problem they had created by moving their bishop there. But the problem has gotten worse. All right, how about we do this? We're gonna force that king. Maybe if it goes to c8, which it did, now the queen is trapped. So this game is unraveled very quickly. Now I'm up, what, a rook? Yeah, I'm up a whole rook. I think they're trying to say, please take the knight instead of the queen. But we can do both. Let's do both. It's checkmate, though. So we'll, Checkmate's coming, but we got to get rid of the knight first, because if I go to c4 first, they can block with their bishop or knight. If I take care of the knight first, then I can go queen to c4, rook to b1. Yeah, I can just kind of push through here. Yep. I'm not taking that with my queen. If I take it with my queen and there's a queen landmine. Yeah, see? There is a queen landmine on c5. I'm not taking it with my queen. I was going to maneuver my knight over there to get rid of it. Because I was pretty sure I would be in trouble if I did that. So, good. Okay, good game. Good game. If I didn't know better and I had taken that, I would still be up 2 knights. And then we're tied in pawns. So, yeah. Okay. Good game. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new one. All right. I'm going to put it into the Twitch chat first. I'm brand new on Twitch, so I wanted to get YouTube down first. This play code has a W and 2 M's in it, so it like looks way longer than all the other play codes. All right, let's drop down to 4. Yeah, I'll stop streaming in about around 7. So let's go and cool. Okay, we'll do that. Try something different. We did this already, but it's different again because I'm doing it again. Cool. Excuse me. Okay. I think my opponent is looking to do d5 next, so we'll just go ahead and do a pawn there. Then I always have bishop to d3 to protect both pawns. That way I can stay defensive on my side of the board, mitigating the risk of running into landmines. Because landmines can be anywhere. Oh, they're doing more there. Okay. All right, then. How about we do this? And then I can go knight to d2 and reinforce those pawns with my knight and my pawns. Very solid. Very solid defense. I like it. I like this idea. Keep the defense solid and the drinks liquid. Oh. It's just water. Yeah. All my ice melted though, so. Yeah, there's a check. Okay. We can trade. You want to trade? Let's trade. Get out of there or we'll trade. You trade, I'm just going to go knight takes and reinforce my defense. You don't trade, I'll do something to keep you out of there. Next, I'll go pawn to a3. And yeah. I can target your bishop, and if you don't trade that way, when I take your bishop, you can't castle because your king will have to take back. Unless you block it. But then if you block it, it's fine. What? You just gave me the bishop for free? I'll take that. I'll take a free bishop. I'm really surprised by that. Alright, I'll take a free bishop any day. Except maybe Thursdays after like 4 p.m. But thankfully today's Wednesday after 4 p.m. So I'll take the free bishop. Okay. Pow! That actually opens up for my bishop on d3. And it can protect those pawns. And I can go knight to d2 and protect those pawns. And now you can't castle on the king side while my bishop has that diagonal heading to the f8 square. So it's good for me. I feel like I'm always yawning when we're playing trap chess, and it's not because I'm bored. It's just it's always such. Every day is a long day lately, you know. I take, you take, I take, then you take. Yeah, why not? Well, we'll just start doing it. We'll do the takes. We'll go through the takes. We'll see where we end up after we finish doing these takes. I don't see a reason not to take. Because you'll either take with your queen right now, or you'll take... Oh no. I broke my fancy pen. No, I didn't break it. I just played with it too much. There we go. Boom. That's better. Okay. This piece... I should do that in reverse. Let's see. Whoa. Whoa. So fancy. Okay. Yeah, I figured you'd do it with the queen, which is cool and all, but let me just make sure there's no forks. Because I'm thinking knight. No. Yeah, we'll preemptively protect the bishop. And then if you check me, I'll go queen to e2. That'll protect the pawn on b2 as well. So I don't have to worry about any forks. Or you can just trade queens. That's okay too. I thought you had something like scarier up your in your arsenal, but it's not too scary. Let's pin the knight. Knight is in danger. You have to use your bishop. You have no choice there. Okay. We'll trade. Oh, that opens up the diagonal on my rook on g2, actually. That's okay. We'll leave it open. We'll bring our knight out. I want to start bringing some of my other pieces out. Okay. Yeah, now my rook has a place to run. It's fine. I anticipated that. Castling is not a good move for you right now. You castled anyway? Okay. Fork it is. I gave good advice. I don't know why people don't take good advice. Good advice is good. Don't castle. Alright, I'll take a rook. Very strong fork. Alright, now I'm just going to start trying to trade pieces with you. Because I'll be up a rook at the end of it. Yep. I see my opponent hasn't fallen for the trap of g2. G2 is a bishop landmine, so... Alright, we'll target that bishop. Looking pretty good. Oh. Take with the knight. We'll just move the knight out of the way. No problem. Yeah. I'm gonna start bringing my king in. There aren't any king landmines, so the king is immune, which is pretty good. Makes it easy to use your king as like, well, not a... If you're playing the physical board game, your king can be used as a scout, because when you land on a piece, you get to flip it and see what's there. But if you're just playing like, you know, trap chess, it doesn't reveal what the square has unless it's an activation. So there's a difference between the app and the board game currently. There's a few differences actually. The board game gives you a new type of trap, chess piece trap, so you get to hide in your chest behind your chess pieces by equipping them. You also get the ability to choose where you lay your traps. So several differences right there. Yeah. Do I have any pawn landmines? I do. I have one, but my opponent won't be able to hit it. We'll take. Now it's just about like eliminating the pieces in my way. So I just gotta trade a few pawns and then use my knights and my rook to corner the king. But I have to be careful because if I just start losing them, that's it. So I'd rather remove the pawns and the other pieces that are in my way first, because then if I, like, worst case scenario, like, you know, it's a draw at that point. So do a check, take that pawn. It's a move that had two benefits. It captures a pawn and it also checks my opponent. So those are good types of moves to make. Protect my rook with my king, so I don't have to worry about it. And if I just start eliminating the pawns, then my opponent has to move their king and we can just kind of force it into a corner and end it. So that's the goal. Force the king into a corner. So. Oh, cool. I'm like learning how Twitch works. Oh, cool. Okay. It looks like I would have been pretty safe with the landmines too. That was a good game. So I'll go ahead and throw another code up in chat. Let's see. I don't know what bits are. Like, before I started doing this, guys, I was pretty much new to social media, and I had to like learn everything like from scratch because I didn't really use it. And then I guess it became like social media has been out for so long that it just like evolved over time, which made it like different, you know, like there's just more and more and more that gets added in, and then you like join and you start using it and you're like, whoa, there's a lot. And I'm still learning every day, so pardon like my slowness with it. I'm not the best with it, but I am happy that you guys came and like you're checking it out. Follow me on Twitch if you can, because I don't have any followers on Twitch. I'm brand new. But here, I'm gonna generate another play code. QCZDHR. I'm gonna throw it into chat and throw it into chat on YouTube. So there we go. I drop down to 4 landmines. And I don't know. Start with this just to get the long line with the bishop. Why not? Cool. Got at least one more game in me. Let's see. Alright, we'll target that pawn. That pawn looks friendly, but it's not. Don't let the appearance of a pawn deceive you. It's not as friendly as you might think. Pawns aren't your friends. None of your opponent's chess pieces are your friends. Only your chess pieces are your friend. Alright, let's try to break through a little bit here. I know it'll open up my king for a check, but I mean, like, they'll just check. I'll block it. It's a move I get to make. A move is a move. Alright, let's try something different. Go bishop here. Then we'll go... They really didn't want to lose their knight, huh? We're gonna go for this and hope there's not a queen landmine. Okay, cool. They're just running with their king. Okay. Okay. Do a good king run. It's That's why your king is such a strong quads. Let's see. Alright. We'll take. I'm afraid to move my queen closer because of like losing my queen. You know, it's trap chess is different than chess. You know, you don't want to take those risks if you don't have to. Cool. I'm pushing that king out. Come on, king. Now I'm back on my side with my queen, so my queen is safe. All right, we're coming for that king. You know, it's feels like the right thing to do. All right, we'll just keep pushing. The king has a place to run now, back, but I mean, I've developed my pieces so much that it feels like I have a really good position here. So just making sure my mic is working. Cool. All right, let's do this. All right. I mean, we'll just keep attacking. It's only one move to avoid checkmate now. We'll trade knights. I should have gone for the other knight, right? Like, that would have been better. It's okay. It's really just kind of like a push for the king right now. So we'll just keep pushing. Do a trade there. King takes. That's interesting. All right, we'll push the pawn. Why not? All right, come on, king. You're the weapon of choice, but I'm not going to let you get away. Just come to my side. Come where there's no traps. Come where it's safe for me. Yeah, okay. You can do that. Go ahead, take as many pieces as you want. Just keep taking whatever you want, Mr. King. Good game. Good game. That's crazy that your king came all the way to my side of the board. Your king was like, I need a vacation. I'm going to just book it to the other side of the board and see what happens. And, you know, that was a good vacation. I, at one point, did consider, actually, based on the positions of the traps, I don't think there was a situation where I was in much danger of losing a piece. I mean, your king landed on my bishop landmine, so must have been like, oh, stomping its feet. Good thing I'm not a bishop, because this would be a terrible vacation. All right, good game. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close that, and we'll start a new game. How many games have we played? 3, 6, 7. This is gonna be game 8 now. There, and send it into Twitch. Join. And we'll drop down to 4 landmines. Confirm. Okay. That was a crazy game. Go there. Do the same move we've been doing. Oh. Good stretch. Oh, I haven't shown my shirt today. It's a Cookie Monster shirt. based on, I guess, the painting known as the Scream. We'll go knight. We'll go pawn. Cool. Yeah, I'll be streaming until I've decided at least a 2-hour stream every time I stream. At least. That's about the amount of time I can drink this much water without having to use the restroom. Just kidding, but I think it's a good amount of time. Alright. I knew it. Pawn landmine. I knew it. But I pushed it anyway because it seemed like the better move. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. Just protect the knight so we can take back with the knight. Then we'll do that. And we'll do that. My opponent's putting... Yeah, I thought they were going to castle on that side. They've changed their strategy up. I think this is the same opponent as before. The fast moves, the aggressive play style. Yeah, let's see. Interesting. I don't think they were paying attention. I'm going to go for it. I'll take the rook. Yeah. Alright, we gotta take the knight. Don't really have a choice there. Reinforce the center. They have all of their pieces on the queen side right now. Like, that's how they've kind of pushed. So I'm gonna do castling on the king side. Yeah. Alright, let's see here though. Because I can do castle or... I mean, my bishop's not protected. I think I gotta take the knight. I don't really have a choice. Yeah, I gotta take it. There's no choice there. Okay. We'll cast. Yeah, that seems like a good move. So if you have any questions about trap chess, feel free to drop them in the chats. Yeah, I have no qualms about answering questions. I love questions. They're targeting that knight now? Why? That knight is my friend. Let's see. That's okay. Alright, I think I'm going to start pushing my pawns on the left side. I don't really... No, that's not the best. Yeah, okay. This is to anticipate their move of trading and taking the knight. If they take the knight, then my queen takes back, and that's to anticipate that, because then my queen will be on a better square. Yeah. Because now my queen can target the a5 square, so I can push that pawn easier. Yeah, let's do that. Pawn landmine. Okay, let's see. Okay. Pin the bishop. There's an advantage sometimes to a landmine activating. Like in this case, it opened up my rook. So that was an advantage for me. Really? Okay. We'll take the queen. Alright, let's bring the other rook over. That whole row is like, it's my row. I think I can just bring the rook in, go straight to a7. I think that's the way to go. Yeah, and then when the king moves out of the way, get the pawn on the opposite side. Okay, I can't get that pawn anymore, so... If they're going to keep pushing pawns, I got to make sure my pawns are a little bit better defended. It's difficult for me to get my pieces through right now because of the pawn walls, but I can definitely get my rook back on a7 and get behind the lines and start attacking the pawns. That's probably a pretty good strategy, but yeah. Let's see. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what the best course of action is right now. This is game number 8 today. Wow. Got a lot of games in today. Yeah, we'll do that. It's not bad to get my rook behind enemy lines. And then we'll target that H file. Even though the pawn is moved, we can still target the file. Now that the file's targeted, if the pawn moves forward, I can take with my pawn. And then my queen can kind of just slip behind. But what I'm going to do instead is this. I'm going to go for the checkmate. If there's a landmine, I'd be falling right into the trap. So we're gonna just save the bishop first. We still have that move no matter what. So I can always go queen to a7 whenever I want. There's no way they can stop it, so I'd rather just save the bishop first. Because if I go there and there's a landmine, then I lose the bishop right after, and then I have a hard time stopping the promotion. You know, because they can just bring their bishop in and target the d1 square, and all I have back there to protect it is my king. So my king can't even, like, it can't do anything, so I'd rather just save my bishop first. Yeah, okay. Queen landmine. I knew it. Oh, man. I knew it. Nice. All right. That's why they didn't mind. They were like, go for it. Rook landmine. Right after? Oh, rough. Rough. That's so rough. I was giving up those pawns like they were nothing, too. Because I was like, oh yeah, I'm going for checkmate. And then I just lost queen, rook. Done. Alright. Got to trade there. I don't have a choice. Ooh. I've hit 4 landmines this game so far. Alright, I got to bring my king in. I don't really have a choice. My king's got to do some work. Show why you're the king. Show. Do it. Alright, at least that pawn is gone. Take out that pawn. This is what happens sometimes when you go to like checkmate, it just doesn't work, you know? It happens. Bring my king in. Okay. If they don't have anything in that corner area, like on the H file, I'm good. Alright, king will take. We gotta clear out some of these pawns. Yeah, I gotta outplay in the endgame right now. I can't let that one get by, so then next I'll take the pawn. At least I can protect my pawns pretty well with my king right now, and then my bishop can do work. Let's do it. I gotta just take. I don't really have a choice. I gotta just take. We're going into an endgame now. I was up a queen and a rook, and then boom! Landmine, landmine. That's how quickly it changes. So, okay. Take. I'm surprised they did that. Like, allowing me to take there. Yeah, it's not escaping. It's not going to escape. That pawn is not escaping. I'm chasing it down. Let's trade. You want to trade? Bishop for bishop? Okay. So there was a bug where if you didn't have proper... Like if you didn't have the ability to... Like if it didn't have enough material to checkmate, it was not stalemating before. I think I fixed it, so this is a good way to test it right now. If they have a landmine in every row, it's going to be a stalemate. There's nothing I can do. But they were like targeting this pawn specifically, so I feel like this pawn is the one like... Yeah. Okay. It's gonna be there. There's no way it's not gonna be there. Yeah, there it is. The last one was a landmine, right? Oh, it didn't blow up though. I hit 7 landmines there. Let's look at the move log. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4 pawn landmines. And then the last move was a landmine, but it didn't record it, it just drew it. So, okay. I mean, at least you know, like, so that means I hit 5 pawn landmines? I mean, that's not too bad. So, okay, so I'm just seeing. So it drew it before the landmine activated. I don't know if I'd consider that a bug because it's the correct, like I wanted it to draw if there, you know? So I wouldn't consider that a bug, but I should have had that final explosion first. Oh, that was crazy. I had 7 landmines that game. 7. 7 landmines created a draw. Look, let's count. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have 9 left on their side. So, it said draw. I know it was a landmine. Alright, good game. They knew. They knew what they were doing. I should just move my king back and forth. Alright, good game. That was crazy. 7 landmines in one game? That's a lot of landmines. Alright, let's go ahead and throw one more code in the chat. Maybe this is the last game. It depends on how it goes. Alright. And then I'm going down to 4. I don't move up because it was a draw. I have to lose for me to move up and take on an additional landmine. That's the rule. So, all right. And my opponent has joined. Cool. All right, we'll just target it. We'll do a little bit of a pawn wall here. We'll start like doing that because that's fun. Everyone loves pawn walls. It makes the game go forever. Okay, we'll do that. Just like blocking their pawns because I don't want to cross to their side. When I cross their side, I introduce like risk. I don't need. Okay. I'm going to take it with my knight, not my bishop. I feel like they want me to go with the bishop. Good. The knight felt like a safer bet because the bishop is like targeting the queen and they're like come, which makes me think they have a bishop landmine there, so I'll go bishop. Or I'll go knight instead. And then I can always retreat my knight if I want. I feel like they were like, shucks. They knew. They knew what they were trying to do. Alright, we'll go, we'll add a little bit of extra protection. Alright, let's think. Because I could do pawn up. I really just want to block their knight, so we'll just block the knight from coming closer. We'll go with a pawn up there. That blocks a square for my knight to retreat to, but I always have... They can't take away f3. If they go like pawn e4, I take, they take, I take the pawn, I'm up a pawn. It's on my half of the board, so I'm fine. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll go back. I could have taken the pawn on h7, but I don't want to take these risks on this early. After the last game, I'm scarred. 7 landmines activated in the last game. That's a lot. So I lost 7 pieces to just them blowing up. All right, that knight is not protected. So worst case scenario, it's a free, you know, they get an extra, they don't have to spend their move taking back and they can't. So I'm just going to take it. The knight was like a freebie. It was worth it, even if there was a bishop landmine. But I still think there's a bishop landmine on g5. So my bishop is not ever going on that g5 square. Yeah, this is game 9. Wow. Okay, yeah, now we're going to go through our options. We'll defend like we were talking about earlier. Yeah, so, okay. I want to put the knight... I want to put the knight there. I want to retreat. If they move forward with their pawn, my bishop can just retreat and take it. It's not too concerning. Okay. Gotta protect my bishop. My bishop has been kind to me. It's done a good job. I think queen to c2 next is my move. Yeah. Target the pawn. Take the pawn. It's pinning the bishop. Yeah, we'll take that pawn. Pin the bishop. Take with the knight. Get the knight into a better spot. They had a fork possibility that I left open that I missed, but I mean, I would have just probably gone bishop to c7 and they would have had to address that. Alright, I'm gonna go take the pawn. Now I'm pretty close to their king, so yeah, they're gonna run. Okay. I like where my knights are. They're like well positioned. That bishop is still pinned. No matter what I do, they can't unpin that bishop. It just keeps getting pinned repeatedly. Let's look at the board a little bit before we make our next move. Okay. That's a good move right there. I like that move. So then I have... Alright. So, next move is h3, pin the rook. It seems like a good option. I was considering like e3 with the bishop, and then their rook was toast, but they blocked. So we'll just we'll do this instead and pin the rook and go for the rook next. I like that move, so. Now we got 2 pins open. What? Okay. We'll take with the bishop. We're not going to take with the queen. There might be a queen landmine there. The rook is pinned, so it couldn't take back, but still. That's a check, so they have to address that first, so I don't have to worry about my knight. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Go... retreat with the knight. I'd rather retreat with the knight than get aggressive. I don't want to leave. I mean, my queen can retreat for that fork, but I mean, I just want to move my rook out. Oh, queen landmine. But at least I got a bishop out of it, so it's not too bad. I'm up quite a bit. I have my 2 rooks, my 2 knights. So I'm up a knight, a bishop, and a rook. And 3 pawns. It's not too bad. It's pretty good. It's actually really good, so I'm not too concerned. Let's see about, like, just moving the king a little bit away from that knight. Maybe I can make it a free knight. I could have gone rook to d1. That would have been pretty good. Yeah, we'll just take there. Rook to d5, I said. Rook d1 to d5 is what I meant. Not rook to d1. That's silly. That doesn't make any sense. The rook was on d1. Check again. Okay, and pin the bishop. Then we can take the knight with a check, where they take, I take with the bishop, which threatens their rook, which means I have to move their rook. Yeah, so we got a good tempo going here. Alright, we'll take the rook, because they didn't move it. I mean, last game was 7 landmines, so that could still happen. I could try to go for checkmate and just start dropping rooks. You know, that's totally possible. Alright, we're going to do something crazy. We're going to push our pawn. I left open the pin on d5 because my rook is protecting the square. So even if there's like a rook landmine there, I feel pretty safe. This is probably the last game. It's going to take us to 7 o'clock. And yeah, I wanted to stream about 2 hours today, so. Just going to push a pawn, see what happens. I have some time. I wrote on Twitch. My streams will be 2 hours, so want to stay true to that because I'm new on Twitch and I don't want to make any waves, you know, where they go like, "This is what you said and you didn't do it." I just want to be as straightforward as I can. You'll probably notice when I have like that starting soon screen, I like have it start almost exactly to the second every single time. I think last week I was a little behind by like 10 to 20 seconds, but usually it's like the exact second. Because I try to, if I say I'm going to do something, I try to do it. I try to be true to my word. You know, I heard once a person is only as good as their word, and that really resonated with me, and I think that's a great quote. I think I only had like one person watch me on Twitch, which is okay. It's my first time. I didn't get any subscribers out of it, but you know, that's totally fine. So let's we'll pull back. I mean, I just want to protect the piece. It's fine. I have no reason to give up a free bishop right now. Oh, it might make it. That'd be cool if it made it. Alright. Yeah, we'll trade. Might not seem like the best move, but it's okay. Like, I'm up a good amount, so. It's gonna make it! There's no pawns in that row. No pawn landmines. Whoa! We'll go queen. Bring a queen out. Move our king. We'll go queen there for a check. We'll start pushing it. So maybe we'll end exactly at 7 o'clock. That would be cool. I'm not even going to touch that pawn. Let's see. Yeah, we'll leave that pawn alone. Oh. All right. Good game. Checkmate. So let's see. I hit the one queen landmine, right? Let's look at the move log. Oops. So the queen... Yeah, I hit a queen landmine on move 24 when I took on e7 for the bishop. So there was only one left, and it was on the c5 square, so I was pretty safe. I wasn't going to hit it. I remember, like, one of the first weeks I did this, I hit a rook landmine, and then I crossed, and I was able to get a pawn across, and I took another rook because I still had my second rook. So now I had two rooks again, and there was only one rook landmine left, which meant, like, I couldn't lose two rooks to landmines, so I knew I could win with that rook, which is why I opted not to upgrade to the queen. Those types of, like, doing those things matter in trap chess, because if you know what landmines are left, like if you're paying attention or if you look at the move log, you know what you can take to be safe. It's not like about taking the strongest piece. Sometimes it's about taking the piece you know won't get removed so that you can finish the game and win. In that game, I actually did hit the second rook landmine as well. So I'd lost two rooks to rook landmines. So you know, it was the right move because I did move I think I moved my rook onto a square that had a queen landmine later. And if it had been a queen, it would have been toast. But anyway, thanks a bunch for watching the stream. I appreciate it. This is the first time I went on Twitch as well. I didn't really get viewers on Twitch, which is okay. Like when you're new, that's how it goes. It was like that on YouTube before. But you guys rock for watching me. Thanks a bunch. And I'll see you next week. Bye.